Hello, YouTube again. We are back. This is the comic book courtroom. We are the full team, the full Justice League, the full Avengers this week. Nicholas is back. Once again, it's me, Dylan, George, Johnny, and Nicholas. He's back. We got the full squad. Feeling good, looking good, eating good. This one is on X-Men Apocalypse. This is going to be full of spoilers that you guys should know the routine by now. Once again, thanks for tuning in last time for Civil War. This one, full X-Men review, breakdown, and spoilers. So, once again, like we do the other ones, we're just going to go around the room. We're going to give our opinion and our number rating 1 through 10. And who would like to start?
I'll go.
You want to go?
Yeah, sure.
All right, George.
I'm ready. I'm locked and loaded, man. I came here ready.
This guy.
It was a very fun movie, and I watched it with Dylan in the theaters. And
identify yourself, sir.
Oh, I'm George Quarter, whatever they choose to call
Quarter.
me. Yeah, but no, I mean, like, the start of that movie, the violence in it, it took me by surprise. Me and Dylan turned to each other, and he was just like, "Wow, that like."
Which part?
When he was about to transfer bodies for the first time, and the dudes were like betraying Apocalypse, and the door drops. They go to run at him, and one of his followers throws the two dudes against the wall. They instantly like skeletonized and splat against. Like that was pretty crazy for PG-13 movie. Like Fox wasn't like afraid to do it. That being said, same with the Wolverine scene. Like that was fun. Like I want a Wolverine movie like that. Where's that Wolverine band? Like that was the animalistic. Like again, me and Dylan were kind of talking. Like you guys play the game on PS2. Like that was that mode. And I love that about it. You know, the story was pretty cool. I mean, I like it. I don't know like super tons about the comic book. So like I had some friends tell me, you know, didn't follow this. Like I thought overall it was a good movie. I loved the villain. Like I feel like we've been villain lacking in a lot of movies lately, and like he was a cool villain. I know there was a lot of like hate going around when it first released the pictures of what he was gonna look like, but looks aside, he was intimidating. He was powerful, and I thought it was fun. Yeah, there was a few little scenes here and there that I thought were a little corny. Surprisingly, like I love Michael Fassbender, but like when his wife and daughter died, I found that scene very like corny and like play-esque. Like it was a memorized line he was just quoting. Then again, later in the movie, he redeems himself and does some great stuff when he's like genuinely mad and just numb, and he's destroying the world, being like the most powerful human ever. I love that. That was great. But overall, good movie. Kind of, I don't know, leaning towards like for a number 1 through 10, maybe like a 6. It was above average. You know, it was good, cool action. Some, like I said, corniness to it, but it was fun for me. I don't know. So yeah, 6, 6.5.
Cool. Sure. Johnny, what's up?
So I saw it today, actually.
Ooh.
Literally saw it this
Fresh out
afternoon.
the oven.
12:25.
Nice.
You know, so honestly, I had really low expectations going to this movie because, you know, just of where Apocalypse looked before going into it, and yes, they've, you know, made it better, but I was still like, he still looks really kind of stupid. And then I saw another trailer on like ESPN one day when I was watching SportsCenter or something, and I was just like, everything in this trailer looks super corny. I'm so gonna be like so mad watching this movie. I went in, that first scene was cool, it was dope, and I'm watching, I'm about halfway through, and I'm like, bro, this movie's rad, and I'm really pumped that like I'm alive right now to be able to like witness these kind of movies because this is dope. This is fun, and it just brought me back to watching X-Men cartoons as a kid, and I was like, this is fun. Like the Wolverine scene was killer. Like I was pumped. It was definitely a lot more violent than I was expecting on, like, average the whole movie was gonna be, because, you know, every other kind of, you know, Marvel or X-Men movie in general has, you know, toned things down quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for, you know, target audience, whatever they want to do with it, but it's definitely, I was pumped. I mean, there was definitely some corny things, you know, I thought the Psylocke cutting through the car was really corny, and I was like, I love Olivia Munn so much, but I hated that. But in general, like...
When did she cut through a car?
When Beast through the car at Storm.
Oh, when she cut through it?
She like did her front flip. It was in the trailer.
Yeah.
It was a very...
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It was a wiry, like, wiry looking flip.
Exactly. It was very, like... You could tell it wasn't, you know, anywhere near done as well as it should have.
They ran out of budget.
It was just like, I don't got the money for this, so...
Speaking of Olivia Munn, Heather was saying, she's just like, I hate how she's always in superhero stance. Like, she's always standing like this. Like, with her arms down, like, fists clenched. Like, she's always just standing, staring off. Like, which is fine for, like, sometimes, but I was like, yeah, that's actually a good point. She, like, brought it up to me. I was like, yeah, that's funny. But, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in general, like I said, I found myself halfway through really enjoying the movie a lot and going into it. And it might have been just because I went into it with low expectations and didn't really have any. And I really enjoyed it. So, I mean, I'd probably say, 6.5, 7, somewhere around there. I know I'm probably more in the 6.5. I'd say a solid 6.5. Right. But I had fun.
A solid half number.
I feel like that's so weird. This is Nick.
Nicholas is
I'm back. Sorry, I missed the.
What about the new guy? Yeah.
Fuck you. I missed the stupid Civil War one, which I wanted to be a part of so badly. Stupid.
He'll get his own podcast.
Adulthood.
We're gonna have a Nick Z
Civil War breakdown
exclusive review.
Well, no, because even when I read the book, I was so passionate about the way that I felt about it, and it carried into the movie in a lot of ways. I mean, like I said, I talked to Dylan about it yesterday for like 45 minutes. We didn't even crack the, scratch the surface. But, that being said, I think it's funny that, like, when I was thinking, because I knew that we were going to do this first, so, like, on my way here, I was like, so what number would I give it? And I wasn't really a huge fan of the movie. Like, I had some huge problems with it, and I was like, but to be fair, I probably got to give it a 7.
Yeah.
A solid 7, you know what I mean? But here you guys are that both, like, really, really enjoyed it, and you're like 6. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? Like, really?
Well, I think so many people's number
if
scale.
it's below 5, it's, like, not good at all.
5 to me is an average movie. I don't go, like, some people hear, like, 6 and, like, oh, this is a 60%. Like, no, I'm not doing a percentage. I think 5 is an average movie.
We're talking 1 to 10?
Yeah, so, like, 6, 7, that's above half. That's better than average,
60%
right?
on a test, I just failed, bro.
No, see, I'm not doing
That's
a
what I'm
test score, though.
saying.
I'm doing a 1 through 10, like...
Just what I was saying, but like we have to dial in like a serious system of what's what. I talked about this in the beginning of the Batman versus Superman when you like somebody like those game magazines and they're like, I have all these problems with the game, and then the game gets an 8.5, and you're like, that's not a bad score. You just made the margin of error between what's good and what's bad.
That's not committing.
So it's not.
So commit to your...
What are we even... It's like, so a game that has all these problems is 8.5.
But it had good graphics, though.
But it doesn't... Your rating to theirs doesn't have to be the same.
It doesn't have to be...
No.
We're gonna be relative to each other.
Is shit or whatever.
So his 6 is he didn't like it. Our 6.5s are we liked it, right?
Right.
Is
So
that
no,
half the point?
I feel like it gives us all freedom to do that.
I was thinking like more of what Johnny was saying, like on the school scale. You know what I mean? Like 60 is a fail.
Yeah. I was thinking
70
5
is a
average.
pass, but like or 60 is a D. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Like I feel like the number I was thinking was like 70%, like around like a C, like a strong C. Like a 75 maybe.
Okay, so we got a C+.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
a strong C+. You know what I mean? Like there were things in it that were cool, but like this movie doesn't exist in a vacuum. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that really bothered me about it, is that there was no growth between the first X-Men that Singer did to the third that he didn't do. And then, it's funny they referenced that. Did you catch that? The third one's always the worst.
Third one's always the worst. I thought that was dumb, actually. I was like... I was like, I looked over at Robbie. He didn't even look, but I was like...
You side-eyed him.
It's Fox. They're trying to break the fourth wall in other
It's like,
movies
come
now,
on.
too.
Come on.
Well, and I mean, and this is the thing, and I felt like there was zero character growth. None of the lessons from the previous movies were learned at all. None of them. And I mean, one of my biggest problems with it was Magneto. And it was, okay, so all of this serious shit happens to Magneto, and it goes back to our conversation yesterday in Civil War, and one of the things that I was saying is that, like, at some point, like, if you're going to take the realm of superheroes and bang bang and funny spandex suits and try to integrate it into our world that has real feelings and real emotions and real people, then you have to act that way. You have to treat it as such across the board. It can't just be like, now we have a gritty version of Wolverine. You know what I mean? Like, they have to be who they are. And it's like, I don't know, maybe I'm alone for feeling this way, but I was talking about Iron Man and like all the things that went wrong with that storyline and everything else, and I'm like, what is this, the world's dumbest fucking guy? He's the dumbest, brilliant guy in the world. Like, he doesn't take any accountability for himself at all. Like, he flies around the world in a suit of armor, but then all of a sudden one falls out of the sky, and he's such a narcissist, like, sociopath that his mind never afforded for the fact that, like, that might happen. He has Rhodey in a suit of armor called War Machine, And it's covered in guns and Gatling guns and fucking missiles and shit that are literally their only design, their only function is to destroy human life. Any other tool that you want to get, you could use a better tool. If you want to put a nail into wood, use a hammer. If you want to destroy human life, you use a gun. The suit's filled with guns. It's for destroying human life. And yet he falls and he doesn't even die. He gets crippled and like all of a sudden it's on. And like it's this real serious thing. So like, look, it either is or it isn't. Either people are dying or they're not. And Magneto has gone through this stage of character growth now where he's made these dire kind of these choices that are really difficult, you know what I mean? And, you know, obviously, you know, the character they painted him as is like really deeply conflicted. I mean, with his parents going to the gas chamber in Auschwitz and like having, you know, no control over that or whatever. And even more so in First Class when they show... what's his name from Electric Hellfire Club? Kevin Bacon. What was his name?
I don't remember.
Black King?
I don't remember it.
He was Black King in that one. You know what I mean? Like showing the manipulation there with like shooting his mom in the head and shit like that. Like, it was fucked up. You know what I mean? But like at some point, like, is this character ever going to grow up? Is he ever going to be a man? Is he ever going to be like a proper human being that like, yeah, I get it, dude. Your wife and your daughter got killed. That sucks. So you're going to destroy the world? Like, I get it, but you already went down that road. Like, you already tried to destroy the world. And you tried to destroy the world before that. And I'm like, is this movie exist in a vacuum where it's like yet again we have this end of the world, this like doomsday scenario that's upon us, and yet no one's learned anything from the previous 9 doomsday scenarios. So like, I can't look at this movie in a vacuum. I have to look at it relative to the other movies that have been out. And putting it up next to, on the opposite of you guys, I went into it with incredibly high expectations because Days of Future Past was so good.
And First Class.
Agreed.
No, but see, First Class I didn't think was great. First Class I thought was an okay movie. Just like I think this is an okay movie. It's a popcorn eater. It's fun to see your heroes be heroes and all this stuff. But the political intrigue and the reasons for what was happening in Days of Future Past were so good. Like the eventuality of the war, the eventuality of the circumstances.
We'll get to that one. I mean? Yeah, we'll summarize those.
But this is the thing is that like in that movie it made complete and perfect sense, and like bringing Singer back into the fold made sense, and it was like, to me, it was like he gets it. And I've said that before. I mean, like when I saw Days of Future Past, I was like, oh my God, Singer finally fucking wrapped his head around it. He gets it. He's not making a comic book movie. He's just making a movie. And the characters happen to be superheroes. You know what I mean? Like the story can stand on its own. This one, not so much. Like this is yet again, there's this thing that's going to come and destroy the world, and no one knows how to handle it or act, and all of a sudden this is new to everybody, and we don't know, this guy's crazy powerful, and what are we going to... And it's like, all right, dude, you've been there like 9 times before, though. You know what I mean? Have you learned anything? You know what I mean? And there's no character growth over the story arc, over the movies themselves. There's also a lot of confusion as to what story arc we're actually, you know, to what does this movie belong? Is it canon to the First Class story? Or is it like, it seems like they brought in Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen. Ian McKellen?
Yeah. Sounds right, yeah.
I don't know why that just had a brain fart in that. But bringing them into First Class made it sound like, you know, the first 3 movies, or the first 3 movies are going to be canon now. They're like, this is all inclusive, that everything that's going on, like First Class wasn't a reboot, it was just a prequel. And Days of Future, you know what I mean? So, hold on, and there's all these inconsistencies with it, and here's Nightcrawler, and he didn't show, what the fuck, and then, you know what I mean? Like, I mind wiped her, and oh man, what the fuck? You're using all these Deus Ex Machina devices and stuff like that. Like, I was really disappointed with it, because Days of Future Past was so good, and seeing it, like you guys said, like, Apocalypse was goofy. Every close shot of him in his goofy pancake makeup, I was like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Bro,
I'm like,
I hated how
sucks.
Apocalypse looked. He looks better than he did originally. Like,
But that's what I'm saying, dude. He's literally like the Captain America in the 80s movie.
I agree.
You know what I mean? I'm like,
completely
what? I'm
agree.
like, this is Apocalypse.
I completely
You know what
agree.
I mean?
I
Now,
completely
that
agree.
being said, there was some cool moments. There were some cool visual things, especially like with his, you know, his God mannerisms. Like when Magneto's like, you know, you won't stop me from killing everyone in this room, and he doesn't even move his hands. Just everyone just dies. Nothing happens. and everyone's dead.
That was
like
phenomenal.
when he goes like this and like the 3 heads roll in the beginning. You know what I mean? Like I was like, oh shit. You know what I mean? And like you guys brought up, like it was incredibly violent, and in a good way. I thought in a way that really married itself to the story. It's a violent story. I didn't like the way they used Angel. I thought that was terrible. But I mean, that's a bell they can't unring, and that's one of the things in the comics that liking the Angel character and what happens to him as a subsequent of like being a horseman of apocalypse and stuff like that, like turning him into Archangel and basically like what that means and what he goes through and everything. Like having some kind of skin in the game for Angel is one thing. Introducing him at the beginning of the movie, it totally blew that like through and through, and I'm like, oh my god, okay, so I don't care about Angel at all. He sucks. You know what I mean? But again, that's a bell they can't unring. So I mean, like, I obviously have a lot of thoughts on this movie, but I'm curious to see what Dylan has to say, so I'm gonna be quiet now.
What was your number rating?
7.
7?
Strong 7.
7.
Good popcorn movie.
Yeah. I went into it because obviously, I base all my opinions on like Rotten Tomatoes and stuff. So I saw them give it like a 31%. So I just automatically believe them.
Really?
No. Fuck Rotten Tomatoes. I went in there and I was just gonna, because I like the first 2. I like First Class and I like Days of Future Past or whatever. But this one was pretty cool, man. It was cool. It was a nice, refreshing take that they kind of took the risk on making it violent. I thought that was cool for a Marvel movie because they showed, like you said, it's a violent story. So I'm glad that they kind of stayed true to that. That was kind of refreshing because, like George said, within like the first like couple minutes, I'm looking over to him being like, dude, that chick just folded that guy up, contorted him, and then tossed him into the corner.
Oh, with
like,
Pestilence in the beginning?
Broke like him into pieces. I was just like, I'm like, dude, what are we in X-Men right now? Yeah. And I was just like, it was like really cool to see like the violence throughout. And I'm not even trying to say that corny. Like I thought it made sense in this world, between like the Weapon X scene and Apocalypse. Apocalypse, yes, he looked goofy, but once again, a quarrel that I've always had with Marvel is that they suck at doing bad guys. This dude was a bad dude.
Yeah, but this wasn't a Marvel movie though.
Well, it's a Marvel. It's part of the Marvel universe. So it's when it shows up, you have the Marvel logo pop up.
But to be fair, it's detached Marvel universe.
It is. They have no control over it.
It's still nice to see that they can do that with like, okay, fine, Deadpool. Like it's like that's part of the Marvel universe, even though it's not necessarily part of that universe.
Yeah.
But like it's nice to see that because it's still the name, still owned by Disney, still Marvel. So like I want it like that was refreshing to me, and I thought that was kind of cool that they like, and especially I think they went to that extent because Old Man Logan's gonna be coming up, and that's gonna be a rated R movie. So I think that so I think that's that's gonna be cool that they're like, hey, by the way, here's some violence because the next one is going to be like the real deal, like real Weapon X stuff. So I think that was kind of cool that they kind of snuck in that type of way. One of my favorite scenes, and which once again, I always hate like the goofy character in Marvel movies, but I loved Quicksilver. I loved all of the scenes that he was in. I loved his funny parts, and I loved that slow-mo scene where and even though it was like, I love the music choice, like how they had that, like when it started up and he's like saving everybody, saving the dog, eating the pizza and stuff, like it was cute and like heroic, but like, you're watching it and you're like, yo, he literally just saved the whole school. And like I was like, you have that hero aspect of it, and I was like, that's dope. I was like, that was really cool. I really like Quicksilver. Magneto is one of my favorite villains out of any, I don't care if it's like Dark Horse, DC, Marvel, like Magneto's in the same conversation like when I talk about Joker. Sure. Like on that level for me. So I love Magneto. Fassbender's I love pretty much every movie that I've seen him in. And
especially Shame.
He shut up. You want to talk about dicks and stuff?
Dude, we'll talk about his cock is enormous.
But he's cool, and I do get what you're saying about like that scene, but that was still like emotional. The kill that he did of all the people that killed his wife and kid was kind of underwhelming to me. I was like really expecting a rage moment. It was very poetic. It was very just like. And I was like, okay, I've seen Magneto do that before, like send the metal quickly through people's heads and stuff. But it was still like, I liked Magneto in this. I think it was pretty cool. The Weapon X surprise was fun. I thought all the characters kind of blended well, like including like Storm and Angel and stuff. Even if they weren't like memorable, I was like, you know what, that's cool. It was cool to see them like grouped together and stuff. But like, you know what, dude, like Apocalypse, what how do you say it? Pronounce it? Ensabiner or whatever. Like, that is a bad dude. You know, like they did a great job with him, minus how he looked, which once again was a step up. But yeah, we'll continue that. I'll just I did enjoy it a lot more than I was expecting to enjoy it. Like I was like, it was refreshing to walk out of that movie and be like, you know what, that was cool. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 6. And that's definitely a movie that I'd watch again. Like, I would enjoy watching that movie again.
Sure.
Whereas there's some movies, like, I'll go see some superhero movies, and I'm like, okay, I'm satisfied. I saw it, and now I'm moving on type of thing. So, yeah, I'll give it a 6. And I enjoyed that movie. But now let's just, break it down for, like, the freestyle or whatever. We're just going to go into the actual story of this movie. And I liked the build-up, like, in the beginning. Okay? And I liked how they made it a point that, like, this dude has been around for a while. And he is pretty much godlike. You know what I'm saying? He's the first mutant. They, like, touched on that. And I like the father figure that he was to other mutants. I thought that was really cool that he is that intimidating and that bad of a dude and, like, very power-hungry. But he's, like, take my hand and I will guide you. Kept calling them children. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I loved how they
prophet,
made him that way. It was very like, follow me, like, and I will guide you to the light type of thing. It made it made him that much more powerful. And that was just how his mannerism.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is so cool how they did that. It made me take him serious despite like the pancake purple makeup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I looked at him, I'm like, I wasn't even paying attention to that because I was too busy like listening to how he walked and talked and like
what's
acted
the actor's name that played him?
Oh, Oscar Isaac, I believe. He's the dude from the Ex Machina movie.
That's what I'm saying. That's
he's
that dude from Ex Machina. That guy is fucking...
He's great. I love him.
Dude,
he's
got
the
chops.
one who locked up the girls.
He's got chops.
Oh, he's good. I liked him. I was surprised when they cast him for that, actually.
I was
he would
excited.
never
I think
been
he
my
did.
really
I think he did great. I think I really like that. I do agree with you on the Magneto thing. I'm a huge Magneto fan, and it's like, you want to talk about like no care for, like, there's no, like you were saying this the other day when you were on the phone, like Marvel does, like that's a quarrel that I will say that I have, is that people were remember the whole beef about like the Man of Steel Zod and Superman fight when they're like taking down the city and they're like, oh, those people fucking died or whatever. I'm like, yo, like, what about Super Magneto ripping the whole planet? Like, I'm looking at scenes like this. You have scenes like throughout all like Marvel movies where they have huge scenes of just like cities getting ripped up and aliens flying, and I'm just like, and then you look at this last scene where Apocalypse is like, okay, now you're Super Magneto and you can rip the planet into pieces.
Yeah.
And you just see him with this big orb and you just see cities disintegrating and buildings literally just like turning to like nothing. It's like, are all these buildings like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was no care. Like, that is such like a extinction level event.
Yeah.
And
yeah, but that's what.
but then at the end of it,
goal was.
No, but okay, that's fine. But then at the end of the movie, Magneto's sitting there talking to Xavier, like, "Yeah, man. So maybe we'll grab a beer next time I see
you know what? Hey, that was
like, fam, I was like blown.
That was really, really terrible. But
let me help rebuild this place.
I'm gonna dip now. So I'll see you on the flip. Basically, is how this is gonna work out. And
that's true. No,
you know what? I'll catch you. I'll see you soon.
Unreal.
Call me though.
Unreal,
Seriously.
dude. Unreal. And like, that's the one thing I was just like, wow, dude. Like, cool. I guess.
Text me before you call.
Like you said, I guess you just have to take it as like the popcorn flick where there's no like consequences, because you know what? Like, a lot of these other superhero movies, like,
I'm so tired of it.
they're talking about the suit. Well, no, I'm talking about like.
So tired of it.
With the DC universe starting off, I mean, they're making it a point to be like, hey, what you do means something.
Well, that was the jump off point for Batman v Superman. That was Batman's whole thing, was that this guy has zero
but that's
accountability.
what I'm going to ask you guys though. Is like, is this how we're watching the rest of this universe, like the X-Men universe or Marvel universe? Are we not caring about what's going on around?
Oh, I don't care about anything.
I think they do. I don't know.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Do I go into these movies and not take them as serious because I'm like, you know what, they're killing the city, but you know what, that doesn't matter.
I don't take anything, dude. Again, like
well, I do. I take Man of Steel. I took the destruction of Man of Steel and Batman v Superman seriously.
This is the same thing that happened to me with Dark Knight Rises. And, dude, they had, you know, Dark Knight, which is arguably the best superhero movie ever made. I mean, you know, we could argue that, whatever you have to say about that, but I mean, it was so right in so many ways. And then I felt personally like Dark Knight Rises dropped the ball in about 10,000 different places. And I mean, we can argue that too, and I'm not going to. I simply feel that way. And I've really kind of stopped caring what these people are doing to my comic books and to my heroes, because they obviously, like, you know, it's a game to them. Like, they don't have any reverence. They don't have any foresight. You know what I mean? Stan Lee, as stalwart as he is old. You know what I mean? Like, he's 93.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So God bless him and everything, but he's an old man. You know what I mean? Like, and he still has hoods, but he still has backbone. Like, when that whole Hail Hydra thing was going on a couple weeks ago with the new Captain America, he's like, no, I give the writers credit. You know, everyone's like trying to lynch these writers, and he's like, no, I think it's going to be interesting.
No, I
you know
thought
what
that
I mean?
was fine.
I did too. I thought it was
cool.
going to be cool.
Yeah.
And but for him to stand his ground through that and to be like, listen, good for you, writer. I think it's going to be really interesting.
The same people that are talking shit about the making Captain America Captain Hydra or whatever are the same people that are like, hey, let's make Captain America gay. And it's just like, well, first of all, you're gonna are we doing a rebirth? Are we changing the whole story of Captain America?
Yeah, he can't just be gay.
That's what I'm saying. So like,
what are you doing?
That's what I'm saying. So like, I don't mind if you want to make a gay character, but like now you're saying there literally was a petition being like, hey, it's called like give Captain America a boyfriend or something.
But there's
like
always
that.
going to be that petition. There's always going to be the people hating on the Hydra thing. Well, what else happened in the comic book universe world that week?
Let some growth happen.
You need that group of people, the YouTube commenters that hate on everything, or the people on Facebook that just, you know, like, there's always going to be somebody hating on something. Like, we can't, like,
but some of it's
who cares?
ridiculous.
Why are we even, like, you know, that's pointless.
But
like,
but that's what I'm saying is that, like, you know, they're gonna move these characters around and push them and pull them. So like, I've kind of detached from it altogether.
Okay.
Where I don't even care
the destruction
anymore.
part of it. I mean, you were saying like,
I just think it's fun, man. I like seeing that kind of stuff. I like the big bosses. We talked about this, I think, on every podcast. It's the snowball effect of the villains. It needs to be bigger than last time. He was destroying a city. He had the whole Coliseum up there. He had what's bigger than that? Well, let's just fucking do the whole world. Why the hell not?
That's how you take it. Bravo. But like when I look at that, I'm just like,
I don't know. And as far as
then he's talking to him. Like, that's what killed me. If they didn't show the conversation between Xavier and Magneto, I was just like, but you know what? I would have been like, he walked away with Psylocke, and was like in hiding. I'd be like, okay.
But they did that already.
Cool
the last
that.
movie he walked away and he signed. That's why they started out in this. You can't
But
keep
it
doing
makes
that
more
whole
sense to be like,
rinse and
hey,
repeat. Yeah, but this
Xavier,
one,
my
I
bad,
don't know. I'm
bro.
not trying to defend that. I agree. It's kind of like
So hold on.
took away from it, but
by your rationale that they have to keep one-upping each other, like kind of, you know, and I'm going to keep bringing up Days of Future Past because it's the only thing it's the most recent thing that we have to reference it. You know what I mean? We've done the end of the world story like 4 or 5 different times now.
Okay.
Days of Future Past wasn't the end of the world story. It was the beginning of the Genosha story. You know what I mean? Where we're gonna put mutants on a leash, which is, you know, I mean, to be fair, the first X-Men was about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The original one.
They're building up to that. Yeah.
And they're working on it. You know what I mean? So like all of the cool things that happened, like you're gonna tell me that, like, which one do you think held more weight? Special effects wise, like which one put you in more awe? Seeing Magneto just kind of like raising his arms and having that cool little magnetic field as the world goes roar, 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 or seeing him transplant the stadium and wrap it over them with reason and good story, and not just like Magneto's the bad guy is going to destroy the world. Like, he did that thing and there was this great reason behind why he did it.
So sick.
Wasn't that the greatest thing ever? Dude,
this
he picked up a
time-
fucking stadium and dropped. He's like, no, we need no interruptions. You know what I mean? It's supposed
That was
to.
badass. Yeah.
So sick.
No, the world's.
But
gonna
this time I think
shake.
was more or less just like Apocalypse taking advantage of it. You guys were saying he's like a god, and like the children aspect. Yeah, I could see that. But I also kind of saw it as like a dealer. Like, hey, he's giving these guys what they want or what they think they want. Yeah. Storm, you know, she's stealing, trying to survive. She's in trouble. He goes and is like, hey, look, I'm gonna make you powerful. You now don't have to like beg for food.
He also like initially too is like when he first brought her in there and he was learning from the, you know, all the DirecTV satellites and stuff. Plug for AT&T.
Yeah, there you
go. You know, he's like, all right, the world needs to be, and he said cleansed.
Yes.
But not in anything she understood, and she said, what is what? And he said saved.
But that's what
And
I'm
then she's
saying.
like,
He deceived
okay.
them. It was,
Exactly.
He
Like, he's
manipulated
manipulating
Magneto.
them.
It wasn't necessarily Magneto being all. So I think maybe that's why Xavier kind of excused it. Like, I don't. Okay, I'm not defending that scene, but I'm just saying though that you're talking about like, oh, he was already mad once, already lost the family. Apocalypse kind of just used that, man. He just you're at your angriest right now, and he's just like, yeah, you're right. Here's power. Well, they did.
They didn't really
when he was in that
show
place.
that, Georgie. They didn't really show
Apocalypse was like, look, when you were you talked about it, he just like killed the guys for him. Don't stop me from killing them. He basically was just like, hey, look, I'm gonna kill them for you because I don't give a fuck. That's nothing. Show like your real anger. He brings them, boom, right back to the first time you saw him bend those fucking gates. That was amazing. Like I loved that scene. So like they brought him right back to that scene. He starts talking about his parents, telling him like, and I think that was like such a manipulative like. And then he gave him what he wanted. He gave him that
weakest human being.
I don't know.
Where
man.
he's just like I'm Magneto.
You're
I have all
clear-headed.
this power. And
You would
blah,
be
blah, blah.
you would be in a clear state. Something
No,
like that
I
happened to you.
absolutely wouldn't be in a clear space. But if I had been down the road before of world domination, like gone to jail for it, which he fucking did.
Yeah.
In the Pentagon. You know what I mean? Like they put him in jail. He's been in jail now twice at 2 different points throughout the canon, throughout all these movies, for these crimes. He obviously understands the weight of his actions. He comes out, he's on the good side, he's on the bad side, he's flip-flopped, he's blah, 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 blah. I mean, if he was going to end it all or whatever, I mean...
He's definitely conflicted.
Well, Nick, spoiler alert, Magneto will not stop trying to destroy the world and cleanse it of humans.
But
and,
see,
you know what I mean? Like, they're just going to keep trying to do it different ways.
Okay, but this is the thing. This is the thing is that stop... If that's...
Stop pretending like he might be good.
If that's true...
Keep him bad.
If that's true... Stop.
You just scratch his
pretending
itch. You scratch.
that Stop pretending that he's growing. Stop pretending that the character's developing, and just have him fucking be Magneto. Have him be fanatic Magneto that we all know and love.
You're right.
Stop making
Let him
be
be the
friends.
villain in the next movie.
I
then.
love.
Just leave him like that.
That'd
be cool.
I do feel like they get him to that point where it's like, okay, this is Magneto that we all know, and then they're like, oh no, we're just gonna bring him back. He's gonna be friends again, hang out, and then they just keep going back and forth. That's really annoying.
A lot of that is the
Very
step up.
annoying.
Xavier is keeping, like, I believe Magneto really wants to like step out of it, and then Xavier's like his like best friend. It would be like if I see you guys doing something like that, I would like do my best to like be the positive reinforcement.
Yeah, you don't want to give up.
But at the same time, like I wouldn't agree with like some of the things you're doing, but like I think that it's trying too hard in these movies, and I think they really just need to be like, you know what? Let's make Magneto a bad guy. And let's not make him like super relatable anymore. Or you know what, we can keep him relatable if we want, but let's the dark side of what we relate to. That I think that's another reason why Heath Ledger's Joker was such like besides the acting, but like it was the animalistic side of all of us. We can relate to if you were to snap or do bad shit. And I think of that actually, you know, not even just Heath Ledger's Joker, just bad guys in general, good bad guys, if they're done right, you can be like, yeah, you know what? Sometimes if something bad were to happen in Punisher and Daredevil, you're just one bad day from being me. Mm-hmm. I think that's how it is. And I think that they need to just be like, you know what? Magneto is the bad day and Xavier's the good day. Let's keep Magneto bad and let's make him the bad guy.
Stop playing the same song over and over and over again, because it's getting tired now.
Well, I mean, it's 3 movies in the same one.
Well, that's with a lot of
what?
It's 3 movies in with just the, you know, First Class and Days of Future Past, and that's where he's going back and forth.
But they have 1, 2, and 3 that they're making canon. So if that's the case, then it's the 6th movie.
No.
Right.
See, that's the thing. You were talking about Days of Future Past. Like, that was a good movie. I'm not bashing on that whatsoever. But I kind of, in a way...
Didn't they erase everything?
That's
from
what I was
the
going to
other
say. I kind of saw that as a lazy way to do a reboot, because it didn't. 1, 2, and 3 are irrelevant now. Those are gone. Those are...
Why?
The history of future, because they sent Logan back in Days of Future Past and it rewrote the thing and it saved people that weren't there. Like, it is a different universe. They did a reboot without technically rebooting. It's kind of like...
So see, I never even caught that. Like, I didn't even, because so much of it is
it was
poorly
poorly done.
It's like,
yeah, it was.
But that's why they can do what they're doing now, because they can't introduce things. They're still messing with the storyline, timelines of things.
Yeah,
like
they shouldn't do
like
that.
I was talking to Dylan too again after the movie. Like Nightcrawler, like in the comics, is Mystique's son. Like, how can I just? They're messing a lot of character stuff like that up. You were talking about Angel
which I don't
and
mind
stuff.
if they change a few things,
Sure.
but yeah, it's getting a little messy.
Yeah, it's
it's
kind of
definitely getting a little messy.
Which,
Well,
I mean,
who plays Mystique? What's her name?
Oh, Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer
Yeah.
Lawrence. So they obviously have a hard on for Jennifer Lawrence, which is why Mystique is like the linchpin of these movies.
I had a hard on for Jubilee, by the way. Sorry.
Jubilee was dope.
Speaking of hard ons, I wish
Jubilee
I'd seen her
was
do
dope.
something though. Like I was kind of excited for that. She's lame.
I
wanted to see her do something. They cast her.
Was I the
they
only
give her
one when
lines.
they said that they were going off to the mall? Was I the only one like excited that the mall was going to get raided and they were going to fight in the mall?
I want to see like the '80s teens go to the mall, have a fun like Nightcrawler.
Are you kidding
He's in
me?
America.
In the arcade?
Teach me America. Like I just would have loved a
I
scene
was
like
besides
that. Yes,
good. Yeah,
they
dude.
jump on their skateboards and go downtown.
Were you not
that-
psyched to see
I would've
them run
been-
into trouble and
I
handle
would
it
have
on
been
their
excited.
own?
Well, like even
I
when
was
he took
I
the
was
car,
ready for that.
when he took the car, I was waiting for them to get like that scolded, like he's the bad boy. Like that would have been so cool. Like
I was so ready for that
Missed
to happen
opportunity,
and to
but
have
I
it
don't
be all fucking all 1990s cartoon X-Men where they go to the mall and just, you know, the teenagers in trouble, you know what I mean? Because let's talk characters for a second.
Yeah,
What do we think of Cyclops?
let's go to characters. Yeah.
for sure.
You know what, dude? I like Cyclops. In this movie, I'm not sure how I felt about him. Kind of like you feel for him because he's like the whole like learning his powers type thing. So like that's like kind of like the whole mutant puberty thing, I guess. But like, I mean, he was kind of whiny. But like, I mean, I like Cyclops' character. I like him in the comics.
It's hard to write well.
I think he's like I guess X-Men's like Superman or Captain America. Like he's
Sure.
when he matures and gets older, he becomes like the lead and the
responsible,
golden boy.
yeah.
Like he's
The
very like by the
Leonardo.
book. Yeah, which is like I even though like that's like the characters that I don't necessarily lean towards. Like I always respect them. I like them, and I think
need
that
them in a group.
yeah, I think Cyclops is a cool character in general. In this movie, I think that he was all right. I definitely not a standout for me. Like I said, pretty much Quicksilver, Magneto, and Apocalypse really stole the show.
Apocalypse stood up.
I could watch Quicksilver do that slow motion montage.
I could-
there.
That was awesome. The
I
goldfish
could see
too.
that.
The goldfish part
I
where
could
he
see
just
it
scoops
100
it out of the air.
times.
Like
I could see it 100 times.
Amazing. Like I'm like and like you know what like and once again back to this seeing this now we've seen quite a few we've seen the two variations of Quicksilver. Okay, both speedsters, and they got to do it first. So
They did better too.
well, but this is what I'm curious about. We've seen two different variations. What's going to happen when we see the third in the Flash for DC's universe? I wonder how they're going to, because, you know, they're playing on like the speed of like you know stuff or whatever, but they're like two different characters, even though they're the same character. You know, obviously, because like you said, they're not the same universe, but like
no, I
they're
hear
still
you.
the same
Yeah.
thing. So like I love how they did Quicksilver in this movie.
yeah,
You know, like that's
And in
how.
Days of Future
he's
Past,
a
they did
fun.
the same
I was
thing.
like,
he's
wow.
a fun character.
And I like how
that.
they give him like you know like
But
he's holding the back of the head for the whiplash and
That's brilliant.
He's
he
running her
knows
up the metal for
he
the-
knows
that
his
was good.
powers and like he knows like
He's very self-aware.
right it's
Yeah.
and I love that.
But he's funny, but he's not funny for the sake of being funny. He's just a funny guy.
Dude, one of the
He's just
a
a goofy
funny
type of
one
character.
scene-
Yeah.
funny personality.
One
I like that.
scene that actually made me laugh like out loud or whatever is when they're trapped in that prison and they're just like they're like yelling into there. It's like, what are you doing? He's like, and she's like, we don't know. And she's like, we don't know. He's like, we don't know, bro. Like, I was like, he's so like, he's like, he knows he's being a dickhead, and I
He's a
love it.
great character.
Yeah, dude. I was like,
He
you
was
know,
great in Days of Future Past.
he was, dude.
He was great in that. I
I'm
was
a
like,
fan
bravo,
of Quicksilver.
dude. Yeah, he's a great.
And you know what? I like him. I know him as what is it? Tate in American Horror Story. He's just a great actor.
He is.
Tate. He plays like quite a few different characters in American Horror Story, but he's
I knew him. I
he's
didn't
just a
know
great
that was
actor.
the same guy.
I knew him from Kick-Ass. He was his buddy in that.
He's a great actor, man. But
Yeah.
What about characters for you? Anyone to stand out to you? that
Yeah,
we're not,
Johnny.
Bringing up like
Quiet Johnny.
I know.
Yeah, no.
taking it all
I'm
in.
pretty quiet. I'm taking it all in for sure.
we're gonna let Johnny talk about talk about your character.
Who's your favorite character, or least favorite character?
Least
Why?
and your favorite.
Or who's the one exactly in the middle of all of them?
Exactly.
That's
in
the one
middle.
I want to. Who's the five?
I know what he's gonna say.
Exactly in the middle.
It's Batman. Always Batman.
Actually,
didn't they
Batman
call
was
him?
my favorite character.
Yeah, all right, makes sense.
My least favorite character. I mean,
He hates
I hate to
Apocalypse.
say it. No, like Psylocke.
I was gonna say that. I didn't want to interrupt you. I was gonna say
There was
Psylocke 'cause
nothing.
of the scene.
There was no like. She didn't even do anything, and it
was
sucked.
cool.
Like,
Ish. Like I liked her.
I like her shitty.
I love
voice.
Olivia Munn, so I'm a
I
sucker.
do too.
Like, she could have just been
I love
standing there,
Olivia
no
Munn
lines.
on like G4 TV
Yeah.
back in the
Well,
day
she
on
looks good. Yeah, she looks.
Attack of the Nerds or whatever.
She looks
Like
great.
I love that
She's a
show.
pretty lady.
Yep.
But
She looks good.
agreed. But
What
like,
about that front butt bathing suit that they gave her?
Mm.
That doesn't like
Those
that.
Olivia Buns. Mm.
Dude, they gave her the fucking bathing suit up to here with the mom
Oh.
fucking thing going on. Like, cause they kept the costume so Psylocke.
Yeah.
They kept it like
Everybody
perfect,
else
like,
is getting these wicked hardcore
Yep.
armors, and then she's just like, "Hey, you get this."
Apocalypse was like, yeah, this one will keep you. And you look good.
You look good.
I can't believe they brought back the uniform thing too. I was so disappointed in that.
You know what? Everyone shut up. Let's quote like quiet. Johnny,
Everybody.
your favorite character and your
Ah.
least favorite character. Go.
I wasn't really a huge fan of Jean Grey.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I think I'm just not really a fan of Sophie Turner acting wise. She's kind of like, I don't know, timid and awkward all the time. It's kind of
Really?
like how I feel about. There's like a few people that are like that. You know, that just everything they're in, they're just
Yeah.
kind of like awkward and weird.
She
and-
reminds me of the Twilight chick.
Right. Exactly. You know, just kind
Come
of awkward and weird.
on.
She's not powerful. She's not
I would
powerful.
totally take Sophie Turner over whatever her face is. I can't remember her name because she's that.
Kristen Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's
Good
that
name,
unimportant to my life. But
Yeah, I don't know because I want to know.
Edit that part out, then Nick knew that.
But I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like also like they went straight from like Zero to Phoenix on that too. You know, I don't know. I mean, obviously, you kind of had to go there to stop Apocalypse, I
Yeah.
guess. But like, oh hey, this is Jean Grey. Oh hey, look here's Phoenix right away. I don't know. I just thought it was quick and you don't really. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't
So
know.
you don't like Psylocke and Jean Grey.
Yeah.
Who
I
did you
mean-
like?
I like Fassbender as Magneto. I think he does a pretty good job. I do
Oh,
think
come
that,
on, that goes without saying. I
I
mean,
know,
like the
I
new
know.
characters.
But the new characters, I mean, I like Nightcrawler in general. Like, I thought,
Yeah.
like, he looked kind of silly, as usual. Like, but I do kind of also feel like he's kind of a hard dude to pull off, right?
It was like
So-
the hair mainly, though.
Yeah, true.
didn't like
But,
it?
like,
Not the
I
hair.
think he did a good
wasn't
job.
too bad otherwise.
I think they did a good job
Yeah.
overall on Nightcrawler.
I love they gave him the
besides-
Michael Jackson jacket again.
He was excited to be in America, go to that mall, you know what I mean?
That
That's
was
the era,
so
dude.
Dope.
Uh,
that they gave him the Michael
so
Jackson.
you like the
jacket.
Nightcrawler.
I like Nightcrawler.
Cool.
And Storm was alright.
Yeah.
I didn't mind Storm at all.
I like the way she
was-
looked.
Storm's
Yeah,
good.
she was pretty good.
She's a
but
very
like
pretty
she,
lady.
The 80s
I
look of
felt like she
Storm.
also had more of a
It's
purpose
great.
in the movie than Psylocke did too, and I think that's why I was disappointed in Psylocke.
Yeah.
Alright.
Because like Psylocke, you could have taken her, leaving her on that, except like
She was the one
She
who
was-
knew where they were. She worked for the, she was the
Yeah.
information, I guess.
right.
You know what I mean?
I know.
So
but
I'm just trying
Still.
to defend her. I guess.
So we were talking about how much everyone kind of doesn't. Everyone was disappointed in Apocalypse the look, right?
Well, it's a lot better.
Other than that, I really enjoyed Apocalypse. I thought he like. It
Yes.
didn't
I
actually
do-
work
I'm just
great.
talking about the way he
But the
looked.
way he
If
because
looks
we're
this is
silly.
focusing on the look, Nick, then yes. But I wasn't paying attention
Yeah.
to his look. I was looking at his
couldn't
swagger
get
and his
past
talking. Like I'm
No.
like he was such a presence.
It
Yeah.
didn't
He
bother
was
me
such
enough.
a presence to me that I did like.
Dude,
now that
every
you're
time
bringing
he
it up,
zoomed in, I was like, oh, God, that's tough. That's tough.
yeah.
I totally agree with
I
what you're
guess.
saying. The way he was written and his general kind of aesthetic was it was.
Would you have
believable.
rather
It was
him
good.
been CGI?
No, you know what I would have rather him been was just an Egyptian dude, without all the bullshit, without all the craziness. Maybe like some nanotech that was
Okay.
like Egyptian weirdness or
That would've
something
been
like
cool.
that.
I
yeah,
agree. Okay.
You know what
I
I mean?
didn't think
That
of that.
wasn't
Yeah.
over pushed or
I
whatever.
guess
They
that's
just
true.
had him be
A human type form.
yeah, like a humanoid with like a couple of extra.
Like,
you know what I mean? Like they could have put CGI
okay.
strips on him, like they did, Marv in Sin City.
Give him that dude who played Xerxes in 300, like that type of character, but like with like the nanotech and
Absolutely,
shit like that.
absolutely,
Damn, that
just
would've been badass.
exagrated.
Yeah.
Human,
okay.
but
I didn't even think of that, Nick.
exaggerated.
That would have been
That-
actually really cool.
That
yeah.
would have been well. I think like all the character design in this, the ball was dropped. There's a couple of places where it hit, which was Nightcrawler. I dug the hair.
I didn't. I was telling Dylan about that. That was my one little
I liked
issue.
it.
I told Dylan I don't want them to. I would have been mad if they put it in the movie because it's a waste of my time. But I would have rather like shaggy hair in the Fight Club, but then when he comes to America, he's like trying to fit in. He sees some magazine, so he tries cutting his hair like that. Maybe if they did that, like I just hate that. Here's this dude, he's thrown out. He's just
cool.
He just has this hair.
I love the.
He's from a circus and chained up slave. I'm
thinking about the generalized look of the movie, which I didn't think was good. But the two places I think it hit were Nightcrawler and Storm. Storm.
Yeah. I really like Storm.
They pulled Storm off.
She looked cool.
Perfectly. She looked great.
She drops in that bolt.
But like that's another thing is that it's very like that. Once again, I'm going to say this. I know it's not the same Marvel universe, but like Marvel is a very candy coated movie.
But we can't keep like that's what scares me. I didn't want to cut you off in the intro because that was like your over summary. But like when you're talking about Marvel villains, dude, Marvel, in my opinion, this is me, George, saying this, but like Marvel villains are badass. You're right. The cinematic universe hasn't really portrayed them fairly, so I definitely
I'm only talking about the cinematic universe.
But then you can't say
anytime that you've showed me like comics and stuff, yeah.
These guys, like you can't. This is not the same cinematic universe. Not even close. Like Fox is doing their own thing. They're trying to fight for the rights back to get their properties, and Fox is doing what they want. Look at the Fantastic Four.
I'm not going to give them that. I've given Marvel the benefit of the doubt in a lot of things, and I think that it's very similar. If we're going to talk about the look. I do not see any difference from the look of these movies, Fox Marvel and Disney Marvel. I don't see any difference.
Well, I think starting with the first...
So it doesn't bother me. That's the point I was trying to make, is that I like the way, because when I watch a Marvel movie, I'm like, that's how it looks. Sick. I'm okay with it.
I don't agree with that, but that's preference.
What part of that don't you agree with, Georgie?
Just like what he's saying with the outfit, like I don't think that that's true at all, in my opinion. Like the Marvel Universe is doing really good, kind of keeping some of the costume type stuff away. I mean, yeah, you got the Iron Man.
So how is that any different than the Thor movies with all their like?
Well, to me, that's just they're from a different time. Like that's the like. Oh, I watched
different plane of existence.
That's like they go for that more like old days, like that type of thing. That's where he's just from. That's not necessarily like costumes that they're like trying to. I feel like everyone else, they're not. They've toned that down. Whereas the X-Men movies don't tone down as much. They do some, but like I think that like in this movie, especially with the colors, and you mentioned Salak's outfit, like that's pretty spot on, and they're true to their colors. They're true to like that's one thing like I feel like the Marvel movies also isn't doing. Like they're not like, oh hey, here's your color, you're that, you're Green Ranger, you're this guy. Salak was purple, Magneto's the red. You're this guy's like they got their color. Sansa's got the.
I think they did a terrible job with costumes. The only two that I think they did right were Nightcrawler and Salak. The rest of them, like especially like making them get into jumpsuits again. Look, jumpsuits.
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
I like how convenient. Do they have sizes in there too for each person? Yeah. Like,
this one fits
like
my cup
no,
size.
we're in a wicked hurry, and listen,
let's get into
shit's about to go down.
What was the need of those? Like
X-Men,
there was
X-Men
no
on 3. X-Men on 3. 1, 2, 3. X-Men.
Team X-Men.
When did they?
I got my stitching. I'll stitch X's into them.
How long did they take to fucking put those suits on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
did they change in front of each other? I doubt it. So they had spent time to go.
Well, they were flight suits. You put them on over your clothes.
We meet back here in 15 minutes. Go.
You know what? But I mean, like again, like it's such an unnecessary thing, and like
maybe Quicksilver changed them all. Boom! It would have taken him a second.
Put Quicksilver change. Go get his pizza.
This is like, listen, either play in my sandbox or don't, but don't come into my sandbox with your ideas. Like, if you're gonna be in the real world, which is where I live, like I know how long it takes to get dressed. Don't bring that in. It doesn't need to be there. You're forcing it in. Don't crowbar that shit into my story. You did it in X-Men 1, and it was stupid then.
You know what I like that they crowbarred in to show the whole X-Men thing? When Apocalypse is going up to what's his face, and then Magneto throws the steel beam down and then throws the other one where to make an X.
It was dope.
I'm like, fucking Magneto's a gangster.
It was dope.
Like, hell yeah.
Did you guys ever read that X-Men reboot that Bendis did, Brian Michael Bendis? And in the costume thing that they were talking there?
Nope.
But it's basically the best. They make that argument in the comic where they're like, oh, what are you going to make us wear costumes? Like, I don't want to wear yellow spandex. And Cyclops is like, no, we're going to do that. They're not costumes. They're uniforms, and when we put them on, we come together, and people know that what they're looking at is the X-Men. And he has
public servant type of thing,
right? He has a speech about it, and I'm getting chills thinking about the speech. You know what I mean? And he explains it, and he explains why we're gonna do it, and why we're not gonna go out in black leather.
Yeah,
we're gonna go out in bright colors, and we're gonna, you know what I mean? And then they go out and like, and it's amazing. I mean, it's an incredibly well written book, but I mean like. On the flip, we have this.
Yeah, they didn't do that in this. They're like, hey, look, I have found containers with jumpsuits. So
yeah. So,
See, that and on that real quick, because do you ever read X-Force?
Of course.
Yeah, like because I like how they had like it was very like military, like just very like it's like black, and they had like the red X logos, and it was very like Navy SEAL, like special forces, like shit's about to go down type thing. Yep. But yeah. So what about I mean, I guess like just like overall likes and dislikes of the movie, just like. I mean, we kind of covered that, but I mean, it seems like all you guys, Nick, John, you not as much. You didn't like for Apocalypse, the look, right? That was like probably the.
It wasn't as distracting to me as I feel like
Same.
it bothered
Yeah,
Nick.
same. It wasn't.
I agree. Like if they had made it better, bonus. But I don't think it took away from the character for me. I thought he was still intimidating.
Sure.
He was.
I still like it did. I mean, I still thought like acting wise he did great, but I mean, how he looked bothered me. For
Really?
Sure. Yeah.
I just think I was
definitely better than the light purple one they had pictures of like a year ago.
I think that was just misleading lighting and stuff like that. That was somebody who got to go on set. They got to do an exclusive. You have the lights going, and they just took a picture of a guy in a pose from a cool angle. And I feel like there's so much hate because of that. Like,
well, I don't know. I mean, they're rushing shit out, and like you never know. Like this Gears of War 4 thing just dropped today with like you guys played the beta, right? For Gears of War? Mm. The multiplayer was fucking... graphics were terrible.
And you're just talking about, like, just a low-key, just to get out the feel or whatever.
Well, and then this is the thing, is that, like, they went back and, fixed the graphics, and, like, was that what they were going to do all along? Or was it something they did because, the public outcry for it was so bad? We're like, oh my God, are you kidding me?
Well, yeah, but sometimes people blow that shit out of proportion like they did with the Suicide Squad.
I was just going to
say
that.
They're going back to do reshoots.
No.
And they're just like, well, yeah. And then David Ayer goes on Twitter and he's just like, dude, we were just cleaning up some action shots. Because, like, the internet was just like, yeah, they're going back to do reshoots to put more humor in it.
Yeah.
And, like, a bunch of other stuff that, like... It was just like it was ridiculous.
And people read into stuff what they want, though. That's what I was saying earlier.
But that's
about
funny. I find it funny, and it's like they're trying to get the headline, but like, and it's on both sides. It's the fanboys. You have, like I was telling Johnny, DC has elitist fanboys, and Marvel has the insecure fanboys. Like out of principle.
I'm not insecure.
No. I don't consider you a fanboy.
No,
I consider you like I know you lean towards Marvel, but I feel like you have a passion for both.
Oh,
I feel like that's with all of us, but like
I do.
I think that's where the issue is that there's this war of people saying shit about movie, and it's poisonous, and that's where my bitterness from like Rotten Tomatoes and
but
shit
it is. I feel
too.
like in this day and age, you like have to pick a side, and I hate that. Like, why can't I just like a DC movie and a Marvel? Like, I hate
don't know
you
where
have
you guys
to.
are getting that from. I've never ever had that argument with anyone.
Dude,
ever.
I do all the time. There's so many people. It's like all like. I was really scared.
They make it in their head a competition. That's where like you go on the internet, and like I do this often because this is where I do a lot of my research, and I see what the masses are saying. I'll go on fan pages and stuff, and the biggest thing is that these fanboys, DC and Marvel, will go head to head and attack each other, and at the end of it, it comes down to DC being like, our shit's written better and it's more epic and it lasts longer. It has better hold. And then Marvel goes, yeah, well, we triple the amount of money that any of your movies will ever make. And I'm like, both sides, I guess, are true, but you guys are missing the fucking point. Yeah. Like, look at what, like Johnny said, what a time to be dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, what a time to, like, for comic book fans.
This year alone, man, has been
insane,
phenomenal.
Dude.
And it's not even over, man. We
but
got,
again,
like, so much more.
This is, Jeff Johns is writing a lot of shit, which is not good,
No,
Who?
No, that is good.
You like Jeff Johns?
Did you read Brightest Day, Darkest Night? The Green Lantern?
Dude. All of the Green Lantern reboot was... It was good for like 3 issues, and then I was like...
Jeff Johns is gonna...
Fuck Jeff Johns.
That's actually gonna be great. I'm actually really excited about that. I think that he really brought DC... Because for a while, like, I mean, I was reading a lot of, like, different, like, Marvel comics, and I was like, yeah, these are written really well, and, like, the stories were, like, I was intrigued, and I was, like, into them. And then, I know New 52 got a lot of shit, because there was a few, like, things in the New 52 that were kind of dumb. But I think Jeff Johns, especially with the Green Lantern, like, dude, you didn't read the same thing that I read. Because, like, dude, Jeff Johns, like...
I got it the day it came out.
Yeah, I have them, too. Honestly, I'm not... I'm picking that middle ground right now, but like I definitely wasn't as hyped. I remember you were the one who told me about him. I bought him because
Some
of
of
that.
the best shit I've ever read. It was
In
this.
the beginning,
Oh,
I was into
I'm like,
it,
thank
and
you.
then
I was like, who is this guy? I was like, this guy is like
fuck.
writing some dope stuff, and even with Aquaman too. Like, that's the butt of everyone's joke, dude. Like he was like, yo, check this out. This is what Aquaman actually is.
He's hard to write. I didn't read what he wrote for Aquaman, but I'd be interested to.
Yeah, Jeff Johns. He's helping Affleck with the Batman solo.
Oh, don't say that.
And that's gonna be sick.
No.
So anyway, what about that end credit scene?
Yeah, actually, no, that was something that I was kind of I was like, I looked at you and I was like, dude, I have no idea what the hell's going on.
Who knew from Rip what that was?
I did not, and
I had no idea.
I loved that because there's so
No
many
clue.
times that like these movies, I complained about that in previous thing we talked about, like that. Like, oh, it's an Easter egg. Nowadays, Easter eggs are lame. Like, it's not an Easter egg when it's just like, yeah, it's blatant. What do you mean that's an Easter egg? He's got a fucking, the Iron Man. I don't know. To me, it's like corny. So like, I liked having to do a little research, googling, and think, oh shit, that's who that. Like, that was
left
cool
the theater.
to me.
Corder's like, don't worry, dude. I'm looking it up.
I got Google right now.
Were you googling it as
It's
you
like,
walked out of the theater?
No, for real.
No, I was like literally walking out.
Yeah.
Me and Dylan like, yo, I'm like, I'm not
'Cause I looked
certain.
at him.
We had some speculation. I didn't know.
I asked some dude sitting in as we were walking out. There was a dude sitting in the like second to front row or whatever, and I was like, "Yo, you know who Mr. SX is?" He's like, "Nope." I'm like, "Google."
That's and I thought that was a
I
fun
was
little...
like trying to figure out what the colors, because there's the different colors in the vials. There's like the green, the red, the yellow. I'm like, hold on, okay, so that has to do with something. But then he like looked it up. He's like, yo, Mr. Sinister, which I was like, he's a character that I'm not like. I mean, I've heard of him and I like am kind of knowledgeable, but like I don't know where. So like, what's next for the
That's
X-Men
what I
universe?
thought when I first saw the teaser for Apocalypse. That's what I thought they were gonna do was Mr. Sinister.
So where are we going then from this movie? What's Mr. Sinister gonna do with this?
It's more kind of Deus Ex Machina shit. Like it's weird. I don't know. Like Sinister is like a cloner, I guess they had him as, and I don't know. I remember his character being like really cool and really underwhelming in the X-Men.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm not as familiar with like some of the X-Men stuff. Like I've read some of the comics. When I was younger, some of the first comics my dad actually started buying me was the Ultimate Universe X-Men comics. So like I started with like that kind of stuff. I've gone back since and read some other stuff, the originals and Uncanny and stuff.
Yeah.
Eric
Uncanny
me,
X-Men.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's got stuff on that.
fantastic,
So, but I mean, yeah, that was again a cool surprise. Like I just liked that. It wasn't like this blatant main character that everybody knows.
Well,
Again, I feel like it's
they're
all
out of main characters now.
yeah, dude,
They're
that
in
X-Men
and out.
universe is huge though, and I just think that like there's a
Well,
lot more people that we haven't touched
I
on yet
think-
that are more familiar than.
When X-Force starts coming
Hold on,
around,
Johnny has something to say. Thank you, Johnny. Go ahead, Nick. All right, Nick, continue.
when they start talking about more X-Force,
Oh, that's what you say.
I think they're gonna bring the Mojo World around. I think that's gonna be a lot of fun.
What do you mean?
You know Mojo World,
No. Give me details.
where Shatterstar's from?
Mojo Jojo.
What the fuck is his name? Jesus Christ, you're gonna make me look it up. I gotta,
Siri, what is Nick talking
amongst
about?
yourself.
Well, you know what? While you're looking that up, that'll probably be the last thing that we say or whatever. But just like any final thoughts on the movie. You know what, dude? Like, Johnny, you pretty much hit it on the head. Like coming into this is that like it's really fun to be a comic book fan, and I feel like also what you said, George, about the whole like you really shouldn't feel like you have to like. I feel like it's okay to like Marvel movies
Yeah.
if you're a DC fan, if you lean towards DC, and this is going to be a message to everybody: is that like it's okay to like Batman v Superman. It's okay to like Ant-Man.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like these are things that
Enjoy it.
I've
great.
had, and even if they're not necessarily my favorite movies.
True.
I'm not telling like everyone has to worship Man of Steel like
No.
I worship Man of Steel or like
But
you know
I
what I'm saying
enjoyed
like
it. It was
that's
a
what I'm
good-
saying like do not be a fanboy, just be a fan of this stuff, because you know what like it's dude, I'm a sports fan, I'm a video game fan, I am a comic book fan, and some of the worst fans of any of these hobbies that I like are these fucking comic book fanboys.
I hate having to defend what I like all the time.
It's like,
I
let's
just
have a
liked
discussion.
it. Fuck you.
Let's have a
Why'd you like
discussion.
it? What do you think? Like, you know why I liked it? Because I enjoyed it. That's why I liked it. Like, I don't know.
It's okay to have discussions, and sometimes like on social media you'll be able to find like some good discussions about like what dislikes and likes and maybe changes and stuff, and I like that stuff because you know what, there's different opinions out there, and I like that because maybe maybe George will say something, or Nick, or you will say something about that kind of brings something to light for me, and
Yeah,
it
you
makes
think
me
of it in a different
appreciate
light
it
yourself.
more.
I mean, I guess my thing too is like how Nick started this thing out. I was like, this is the problem I have here, 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 here. That's a 2. And he's like 7. I was like, all right. So he still had a bunch of things that he liked, but he still liked it.
All right. So
you know?
so let's pull back a little bit or whatever. So like you just said, I have my gripes and I bring them out because I get to be a guy who grew up with the shit, reading it, who still reads it, and who's now 37 years old. I'm an adult. You know what I mean? So when I talk about these things, I want to talk about them with adults in an adult way about these things.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to do this too.
We'll get
It's
adults
good,
next time
It's
for you.
good to talk about this stuff.
But this is the thing: is that like, let's not get it fucked up. It's still a glorious time to be alive.
Right. That's
Like,
what I'm saying.
They're still making these movies, and do I wish that they give them a little bit more reverence and consideration and just stop pumping out the money machine? Yeah, I do. And I mean, like, if I had that kind of influence over there, like, I would. That's what I would see that they do. I would be like, hey, look, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, you need to pull that back. Like, I understand this movie's going to make you,
Yeah,
$500 million,
unfortunately, that's the
but-
system, and that's one thing that Marvel fanboys will always say. And I'm like, you know what? I agree with you. You're right. Marvel knows how to make a shit ton of money because all of their movies do. They know how to ride hype waves. They know how to write good movies that make shit tons of money.
Yeah, but they're making money. In my opinion, they're making money because people are seeing it. They're getting people to go back. They're not just making money on one name and then the next movie it's like.
I think
Marvel has a lot of problems with consistency, and this whole problem with the Fox property versus the Disney property, whatever the problem is there, and the fact that Daredevil can't use the word mutant and has to use the word enhanced, like that's a problem.
Yeah.
Like Marvel needs to get its shit together and pay whatever money they need
that's
to
all
pay.
politics, unfortunately, in business.
But that was
like,
at
it
a
is.
time they did that back before they thought this was ever a possibility.
Exactly.
They didn't have the funding to do what they're doing nowadays,
Yeah.
but at all.
And
And
they
Fox
had
said, "Hey,
no
look,
idea.
we have money. We want to make your thing a movie." And they're just like, "Yes, please, get our name up." Like
But that being said, they were
So-
able to put Spider-Man in a Captain America movie, so what
Yeah.
the fuck happened there?
Hey, the Russo brothers are in talks. I was mentioning this. These guys they're in the talks right now of using a Wolverine character in the Infinity Wars. I doubt it will be Hugh
alright.
Jackman, but that would be awesome. Like if they want to do an Old Man Logan movie, Fox does.
I don't think Hugh Jackman would let somebody else play Wolverine.
Well, they're going to. He has one more movie.
Yeah, we were saying the same thing about Christian Bale.
So they're going to.
So-
Yeah, I mean.
Really, you think so?
Yeah, I think at
people
some
were
point.
demanding Christian Bale be the Batman of this universe, and they're just like, no, you're not getting it. We're doing the
Yeah.
DC universe.
I think he's gonna do an Old Man Logan. He's
I was one
getting
of
that
them.
age, and then they're gonna do a younger version. But I think that it would be a separate. Like Sony still probably gonna do their
They
own
need to
thing.
do a different
Yeah,
thing.
it would be
but
just a
that's the
different
thing, though. I mean,
style.
with Christian Bale, like his story arc had ended. It was just 3 movies. I mean, this Wolverine character that he has been in how many
Like
movies?
George
What?
said, these
Nine,
X-Men
10+ years,
movies
15
are
years?
not.
15 years, 9
15
movies.
years
It's
of
not. It's a
somebody
different
who
animal.
physically looks exactly like Wolverine.
Well, besides the fact that he's tall, but I mean, but seriously, like
They're gonna do the Terminator thing and just CG Hugh Jackman into all the movies from now on. Is that it? We're just
Sick.
gonna have a
I-
CG Hugh Jackman. He never ages.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like, I feel like he's so affixed to this character. And I mean, and Fox has already gone on record and said they're not doing an X-Men movie if it doesn't have Hugh Jackman in it. It doesn't have Hugh Jackman as
Good.
Wolverine.
Sell the rights back to Marvel.
But that's what I'm saying is that, like, something might move there, you know what I mean? And that could be exciting. For Spider-Man to move like that, and
Oh, I'm so happy.
it's the best Spider-Man ever. It's,
Yes.
I have a friend of mine that's from Queens.
Does he say? Oh, I
And he talks the exact talks the exact same that's what I'm doing and it's a fucking riot.
He's
Just to
phenomenal,
listen
man.
to him and the way he was written for Civil War was brilliant. So like there's still hope that they're gonna do it right. You know what I mean? Like I'm really
Yeah.
excited to see the new Spider-Man and to see where they go with that.
Well, with upcoming things, it was good talking about Apocalypse, guys. With
Yeah,
this.
cheers.
This was a
dude.
pretty decent movie, and it was
got the
fun.
family back together.
Do not, Nick, I'm glad that you got to join us on
Sorry, I
this
missed
one.
the last one. I was
We are after this one, we are planning on doing Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition.
When does that come out?
That's the 28th of this month, I believe, digitally. So that's, I think, a week or two before the Blu-ray comes out. So
Okay.
if we can get together I mean, I'm going to be watching it.
Do like a short one, and then what's after that? Like,
And then after that,
Suicide
we'll be
Squad
Killing
August.
Joke?
we are gonna.
Oh.
If that's gonna be another thing.
Killing
If,
Joke has to
if
happen.
we are gonna
Yes.
see the Killing Joke in theaters, because that's also something.
Is it going to theaters?
Yes,
One
for a
day.
day.
For one day.
We're doing
Where?
it.
Day.
We're buying the whole theater out. We're doing this.
Where?
We're gonna
Where?
live stream
Where?
it.
Where?
We don't know yet. That's going to be something we're going to look into. But if we can,
Future stuff's coming.
for all of our
Ooh.
listeners, if we can get that, there's going to be Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition. If we can get into the theaters for Killing Joke, the animated Killing Joke, we're going to try to do that. And then after that, obviously the
That's going for one day.
we got
One
Suicide
day.
Squad.
Why do they have to fuck with me like that?
Dude, if it
bro?
does good enough, they'll probably bring it back like a weekend thing or something.
That's amazing.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for listening again, guys. Subscribe, share, and obviously thanks for tuning in. We are going to be making a Facebook page, so stay on the lookout for that, and you guys can follow us. We're going to put updates and the videos up that way. I think
In the meantime, though, comment what we're doing wrong, what
Yeah.
we're doing right, what you like,
give
what
us
you don't like.
Please comment.
Yeah, give us feedback.
Give yes. Let us know what
Tell
you
us how
hate,
you like it.
and it's just talk shit and talk, please. But thanks for tuning in, guys. This is Comic Book Courtroom.
Bye bye.
See ya.
Shut up.